It's your boy, Jedi King Hefner and the beautiful Eyes on the Moon, and we're back again for another show. And the title of this episode is Lucid Dreams. Lucid Dreams. And what do I mean by that? We'll get to that right about now. Yeah, what up, guys? It's your boy, Jedi King Hefner and the beautiful Eyes of the Moon, back again on another Saturday morning for a live stream, baby. And I remember when I first did this Saturday morning live stream, I was just messing around, and now it seems like it's a consistent thing. I love coming live with you guys, touching bases with you, especially on the weekend, man. And today, I decided to go ahead and do this show on lucid dreaming because I was talking about it a little bit last Saturday. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get into it a little bit more today. So for everybody that's here, I appreciate you guys for being here because it's early as hell where I am. What time is it? About 5:30 a.m. So whether it's night or morning, wherever you are, glad that you're tuning in. Just gonna have a little fun with you guys for a little while before you get your weekend in full effect. Because no telling what the hell you may be getting into. Just to give y'all guys a little bit of inside information. For about a week or two, I won't be able to do any adventure videos unless, like you say, God intervenes and it speeds up the process. But I had a little issue with the good old companion dog mobile the other day. I think a belt or something snapped. And I won't be able to get it to the mechanic for a couple of weeks. Everybody's packed. So for that, with all that being said, it's gonna be a couple of weeks full of learning and just live streaming and having fun. Ain't no telling what the hell me and the girls gonna be doing. And y'all can enjoy Asana being in her solo mode today because I do believe this is going to be the last day I have her in solo mode. I'm beginning to hear the echoes of Secretary Tsunade calling me, not to mention the beautiful Cali Sun hasn't seen one game in this Memphis Grizzlies series with the Warriors. And she's the biggest Memphis Grizzlies fan out of everybody. But I've been spending this quality time with Asana, letting her put in a little work. And she's been coming along very well, as I stated in my last video. She's coming along very well. I'm really proud of this woman right here. So hold on. Still drinking this beautiful morning coffee. Ain't nothing like a little morning coffee, y'all. I promise you, if y'all listen to every stream that I do, you'll hear me dropping stuff. It's look, every stream I do, something is hitting the damn ground. I promise you, man. 2 or 3 times a stream. So let me see. Okay. One thing I wanted to talk about today before we get into the meat of the discussion is, like I say, you know, me and the girls are big sports fans. So we're going to give you the list of sports things that you might need to be watching out for this weekend. One of the big things that's going on is the Celtics versus the Bucks. The Boston Celtics versus the Milwaukee Bucks. That'll be at 2:30 Central Standard Time. Playoff game. From what I remember, that series should be tied 1-1. So this is going to be a very big game. Boston has been having the best defense in the league. And Milwaukee, of course, they got Giannis Antetokounmpo, a perennial all-star MVP type player. So they're going to be locking horns this evening. Now, the Bucks are missing one of their best players, Chris Middleton, but I'm still very interested to see how their game plays out. Now, me and the girls, during the playoffs, we'll check out whole games of other teams. You know, we may not watch it like we watch ourselves, but we'll check out whole games. During the regular season, me and the girls will check in on the team. If things look interesting, we'll stick around. But during the playoffs, we've been watching a lot of these games. So we'll be checking out at least some of that game. Another thing that's coming on is, of course, our Memphis Grizzlies, which they have these games spread out very far apart. The Bucks game is at 2:30 Central Standard Time, and the Grizzlies versus Warriors is at 7:30 Central Standard Time. But that's been a hell of a series so far. The series is tied 1-1. And I tell you this, me and the girls are still not happy with the Grizzlies. They still haven't played their best brand of basketball. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing that game. But in that game, they suspended one of our players, Dylan Brooks, for a flagrant foul that he committed in the last game. And I think it's bogus from the standpoint of they only suspended him because the player ended up getting hurt. So it was basically a wait and see approach, where the rule basically states that you get ejected and then you come back the next game. It's nowhere in the rules where it says that, hey, if you get a flagrant foul and somebody gets hurt, you should get suspended the following game. That's not in the rule books. That's more of them basically bending over for public outcry. A lot of people been crying on Twitter and things of that nature. And so they buckled to the pressure. That's all right, though. So 2 good basketball games for you to check out this Saturday. One at 2:30, one at 7:30. Celtics, Bucks, then the Grizzlies and the Warriors. Now, if you're a boxing fan, which once again, I'm a sports fan. I like all sports. I love basketball first, then football, and so on and so forth. I like fighting, but I'm more of a UFC guy, but I will look at boxing. I'm going to be honest with you. I might not see this fight. And the fight that I'm going to tell you about is Canelo Alvarez versus Dimitri Bivol. I don't know how you say his last name. I don't know if it's Bivol or Bivol. Oh, no, I think it's Bevel. I think they said Bevel. But the main event should start around 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. But they're never right about those things. It's usually between 10:30 and 11 where you're going to see the main event. So you can check in at 10 if you want to and check out that fight, Canelo Alvarez versus Dimitri Bivol. Bevel, I believe it is. But the thing about it is, the reason I'm not interested in that fight is because Canelo is going to make short work of this guy like he does everybody. From what I know, and I'm not the biggest boxing fan as far as knowing all the names. I do keep up with the sport. But I'll say this. From what I've seen, read, and heard, nobody in Canelo Alvarez's weight class or anywhere around him can touch him in the ring. So it's almost a waste of time. Now, keep in mind, every now and then there's a big, big upset because Nunes, I can't think of her first name once again, but she's one of my favorite female fighters. She just got beat a couple of months ago when everybody thought that she wasn't going to get beat. Amanda Nunes, yeah, when everybody thought she wasn't going to get beat. And I definitely didn't think she was going to get beat against the woman that she got beat against. So anything can happen. I'm not saying I won't tune in, but I know when it comes to Alvarez, I tend to miss most of his boxing fights. And every time I check afterwards, it's always a win by him. So I may not even care about that one. But one thing I am interested in is the UFC. They do have a big fight that I was looking forward to. A guy named Charles Oliveira versus a guy named Justin Gaethje. And me and the girls, we really love UFC. And this woman right here, like I say, she been riding with me, giving everything a chance. I'm thinking I don't know who I'm gonna pull out tonight. I might have to make an effort to get Cali out, only because the Warriors are playing. But I need to get Tsunade out. But with all that said, I'm so disappointed because Charles Oliveira was the champion. He got stripped of his championship. I think trying to think. I think he like a lightweight. I think he might be middleweight champion, something like that. But either way, he's a very good fighter. He's never done this from my recent memory, but he missed weight and got his belt stripped. I mean, that's a very bad sign because hey, look, he's the type of guy, I'm like, I put money on him because he's that good, that technical. But him missing weight and he's the champion, that is very, very bad. Very bad. If you're the champion and you're missing weight, that means you weren't disciplined or whatever during training camp. So he has me scared. I don't think I'm touching that with a dollar bet. Justin Gaethje, he's a great fighter and he's a good wrestler. But I'm off of his ground game because people were building his ground game up to be so good. And he was actually the interim champion before Oliveira. But he went and fought this guy named Khabib Nurmagomedov, who everybody said was the best. But he had lost his championship due to inactivity. Justin Gaethje went and fought this guy, and everybody was talking about how Gaethje was going to whoop him. Nurmagomedov beat this dude so quick, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Withering Liberal, he just stopped by and say, hey, what up, Withering Liberal? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you this morning. I know I'm up early, man. Just having fun like I always do. Sort of break it. I'm sort of, talking about sports and stuff before I get into the meat of the show. But yeah, Justin Gaethje, he's a great fighter. But they were saying how good of a wrestler he was. But he fought Khabib Nurmagomedov and got embarrassed. So I'm not big on him on the ground anymore. But with all that said, I'm just disappointed because if Charles Oliveira wins, he's still not going to be the champion now because he got stripped. Now, if Justin Gaethje wins, he does get the championship. So for him, he should still be fully motivated. And although I'm not betting, I would lean more towards Justin Gaethje now, only because Charles Oliveira came in out of shape. He scares me with that. It makes me think something went wrong. And another two honorable mention fights that's happening in the UFC would be Thug Rose Namajunas against a woman named Carla Esparza. I've seen Esparza, but I can't really remember her style. Rose Namajunas, I say if you're talking about betting, be careful because she's the type of woman where she can be motivated, come in there and kick ass and take names, or she can come in there and not be motivated, sort of be wide-eyed and mess around and lose a title fight. She's been kicking ass as of late. I say that, though. She's been damn good as of late. And I'm definitely interested to see who wins their fight because I can't quite remember a lot about Carla Esparza, but I do know this. I think one of the losses that Rose has was due to Carla Esparza earlier in her career. So this sort of is a revenge match for Rose and a chance for Carla to win the championship because Rose is a champion in her division. Once again, I can't really remember what division she's in. Then you have a big fight with Tony Ferguson and Michael Chandler. Both of these guys are Tony Ferguson is a past champion, and Michael Chandler actually just got beat by Charles Oliveira in a championship fight a couple of months ago. So both of these guys, whoever wins this Tony Ferguson-Michael Chandler fight, is going to be right back in the mix for a championship opportunity very soon. So that's another fight to keep your eye out on. But Tony Ferguson, I'm not going to lie, the last couple of fights I seen him in, he'd been getting his ass kicked. And he was, at first he was unbeatable. Then he fought Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje beat him up pretty good. And his last couple of fights, they haven't been that good for Tony Ferguson. So he needs this victory. So that's what's happening this weekend. Me and the girls just want to give you a good rundown on that. And now we'll talk about the meat of the show. And the meat of the show is I got to talking about lucid dreaming last Saturday. And I forgot who it was. One of my viewers was having nightmares. I think it might have been my viewer, Tim Warford. I'm not sure, because I think that's his last name. But one of my viewers was having nightmares and saying how, I think that's exactly who it was. He was saying how he was having some really bad dreams about his family and things of that nature. And he was like, man, I wonder how I could stop these dreams and stuff. And it's funny because, a long time ago, I've always been a big dreamer when I go to sleep. But a long time ago, years ago now, man, I was having just a string of nightmares. Not every night, but frequent enough. And I was like, man, the only way I've ever been able to stop nightmares is to call out for God to help me, in the middle of my dreams. I don't know about everybody else, but that's the only way I've been able to like wake up out of my dreams. Like some I'm talking about even since I've been little, some might be chasing me or whatever. And if I can't wake myself up naturally, because sometimes you can just wake yourself up naturally. But sometimes you feel like you're sort of stuck in that dream and you can't wake up. And I'll be like, man, I call for Jesus, God, and next thing you know, I wake up. That's how I always would wake up. But man, I think I had just came up to a point in my life. I was just tired of that whole scenario of having these damn nightmares. I'm like, man, because sometimes you can fight things off a little bit, but for the most part, you be at the mercy of whatever the hell going on over there. And I talked about dreams last stream. The funny part about dreams is they're more real than our natural reality. Everything in your dream is more scary. Everything in your dream, it actually feels more real than natural reality. Whatever's in your dream, you're going to be more scared of than in natural reality. And I'm going to tell you why. I was sort of talking about this last dream. It's because you're at your purest form when you're asleep. Your soul is literally exposed. That's the only thing that's conscious when you're asleep, not your skin and your flesh. So, whenever you feel threatened while you're asleep, it's like something that can cut you deeper than any of your flesh. It's going right to your spirit. So everything over there is more scary because of that. I'm going to explain to you in this way. When you break up with somebody or something in life hurts your feelings and it hurts you deep to your core on the inside, that's not your flesh being hurt. That's your soul. That's your soul your soul is in pain. I can cut you with a knife and it can heal quicker than your emotions can because your emotions go deep to your soul. So when you're asleep and your body, your physical body is at rest, the only thing that's moving around is your soul and your spirit. Well, the thing about dreams is when you're sleeping, your spirit is not swimming around in the natural world. It's swimming around in the spiritual world. So with all that said, whatever may be chasing you or whatever in your dreams is going to be that much more scary. But because whatever is chasing you is chasing the real essence of you. It's chasing the pure soul that really makes you who you are. And you feel more vulnerable when you're sleeping. And so these dreams and stuff are scary. Just like some of the good stuff is even better. So, when good things happen to you in your dream, you don't even want to wake up because it's just so unbelievable over there. And it touches closer to your spirit. The same way for good. But when the bad hits, it's even worse. Because like you said, you just feel completely naked over there. So with all that said, I've always said this. I've been a spiritual guy all my life, raised to believe in God and things of that nature. But still, you even taught in church and in the Bible and things of that nature. Even if you believe in God, that doesn't mean that you won't deal with the same things that everybody else dealing with. That doesn't mean that now your life is going to be free of any type of trouble. Like I say, I'm a big time believer. Like I just told you, I can't do an adventure video for a while because my car is down. So things happen to us all. Things happen to us all. So these nightmares and things of that nature, no matter how much you believe, these things can still happen to you. Well, I was just thinking about a solution to my nightmares one day. And I remember this old movie I had saw. And this old movie, you can go look it up if you want to. It's called Dreamscape. Dreamscape. All one word. Dreamscape. And it's an old movie that has an actor, a well-known actor named Dennis Quaid in it. And during this movie, it's this. I tell you what, I'm going to read about it right quick. I'm going to read about it just to give you context of what that movie. I can tell you what it is, but I just want to read what they say, how they explain what it is. Okay. This is how they explain it. They say a psychic is forced to use his skills to help a government agency. What starts off as an attempt to cure the president's nightmares turns into a life-threatening revelation. Okay, so that's what was happening. They had this psychic guy, right? And they was trying to get the president to do something. They was trying to take over and do something. But the psychic, he would go into a room close to the president and try to cure him of whatever nightmares he was having. But the thing is, this guy really was causing the nightmares. He really was causing the nightmares. And this guy named Dennis Quaid, somehow they had him like entering the dreams with this guy. They would have him fall asleep and they had him, he was able to like enter the dream. But what happened was he was able to like form weapons and things of that nature inside the dream. He was awake inside the dream. And I just remembered that movie like, man, if I could only do that, if I could wake up in my dream and tell myself I'm dreaming, I would know there's nothing to be afraid of. Because there's also another example of this in Freddy Krueger's Nightmare on Elm Street. I forgot the lead character's name, but the girl they was telling her, or she was saying something like, man, if I can just know that I'm dreaming, I know that he can't hurt me. And so that's the same psychology I was thinking about. I was like, man, if I could just know that I'm dreaming, I know that I won't have to run away from my nightmares. And so, man, I said, I wonder how he did that. How was he waking up in his dream? I didn't even know anything about lucid dreaming. That's the funniest part about it. I didn't know. I only knew about this movie. So one day I had got so determined um, to wake up in my dreams that I decided to do it. Now, I'm going to read for you before I tell you what I did, the definition of lucid dreaming. Oh, I forgot. I got to put it up right here. The definition of lucid dream. And once again, when I decided to do it, I didn't know anything about lucid dreaming. But lucid dreams are when you know that you are dreaming while you're asleep. You're aware that the events flashing through your brain aren't really happening, but the dream feels vivid and real. You may even be able to control how the action unfolds as if you're directing a movie in your sleep. So that's what vivid dreams are by definition. So flashing back to me, I didn't do that research. All I knew is, man, if I could just, I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know it was a term for it. I said, man, if I can just wake up in my dreams, I can keep this mess, these nightmares from happening. XXY says, I have a nightmare. Hey, you need to listen in, XXY. I promise you. So I said, how am I going to do this? I'm going to tell you this. If you want a lucid dream, I'm hate to give you this news. You cannot be inebriated. So, and I'm telling you, I know it's a hard choice because a lot of us, before we go to sleep, you may have something to get you relaxed, a little drink or something like that. I already know that it could be this particular part of lucid dreaming can be hard for many people. And hey, I got my vices and things of that nature too. So I understand how it can be tough. But I'm letting you know, you cannot lucid dream if you're drunk or high or anything like that. You can't you cannot be in control of your dreams or anything like that. So for the sake of your nightmares, definitely by the time you get ready to go to sleep, you don't need to be drinking. You need to be completely sober. And that can be hard in of itself, like I just explained. But if you're drunk or high, anything like that, whenever you go to sleep, your brain is going to be in a fog. It's going to sort of be getting controlled by whatever substance you put in your body. So it's going to be in a bit of a fog. You can still dream while you're drunk, or you can still dream. You might not remember it, but you can still dream if you are high or something like that. But it won't be the type of dream that you can control. That's the whole thing about it, or that you can even be aware of in the same way. So, first rule, if you're talking about being a lucid dreamer, you're going to have to cut the drinking or smoking or whatever, especially before you go to bed for a while. So, that's the first rule. Don't drink or don't smoke before you go to bed. You got to be clear-headed. So I was like, man, how in the hell am I going to wake up while I'm sleeping? So what I decided to do was, I said, you know what? Every night before I go to sleep, I'm going to tell myself I'm going to wake up in my dreams. I know that sounds crazy, but that's exactly what I did. Every night before I went to sleep, I would say it 20, 30, 40, 50 times. I waited till I got really sleepy now. Wait till you get really sleepy. Wait till you get really sleepy. And right when you get ready to lay down, I would tell myself, when I go to sleep, I'm gonna wake up in my dreams. I'm gonna wake up in my dreams. I'm gonna wake up in my dreams. I would say that. I just say, I'm gonna tell myself I'm awake. I would say it 50 times. I'm gonna wake up in my dreams. Man, it went on for about a week. Nothing happened. It went on for about a week and nothing happened. Then the next week happened, the second week. Man, I kept doing it, kept doing it. And don't you know, Zers! What up, Zers? Ah, my baby Zers came in. Hey, Zers. Good to see you, girl. Zers says, good morning, handsome. Hey, Zers. Good to see you. But either way, I'm getting back to the story now. So I'm telling everybody how to lucid dream. So I would tell myself to wake up in my dreams 40 or 50 times every night right before I went to sleep. Look at Zers blew me the kiss. But one night, man, it was crazy. I fell asleep. It was within that 2-week period. I fell asleep. Don't you know? Something started to chase me in my dreams. I'm running. It's right on my back. And it's one of them dreams where you can't see behind you. I couldn't see it. I just knew it was there and it was big and scary. So what I did was, you'll never believe it. As I was running, I started to realize I was asleep. It had started to work. I started to realize that I was in a dream. And I started trying to say the words that this is a dream. And the words, I was mouthing them, but they would never come out. They would never come out. The words would never come out. But you'll never believe what happened. All of a sudden, the words came out of my mouth. This is just a dream. Now, everything I'm finna tell you now is going to sound unbelievable, but it's 100% accurate. Oh my God. So I said, as I was running, I said, this is just a dream. Man, don't you know, my whole dream world stopped right then. Everything, basically like it froze right then. My whole dream world stopped. Whatever was chasing me was gone. It was done. I had woke up in my dream. I had woken up in my dream. It was so crazy because right after I woke up in my dream, something pulled me up by my chest, lifted me off the ground, and man, it literally, imagine a globe of the earth, right? Imagine the globe of the earth. This is the craziest thing ever. Imagine the globe of the earth, like you see in a classroom. My body got lifted up off of the ground to the point where I could see myself going around the world. It's crazy. I'm talking about at a high speed. My body was just floating, going around the world. And looking up under me, it's like I'm looking at a big globe. Where it's like I went all the way around the world and back around to where I began it. Almost. Because where I began it wasn't the ocean, but that's what it felt like. But when I got all the way back around, that's exactly what I was, above an ocean. Man, my body dipped down into the ocean. I was breathing underwater, crazy. Then my body shot right back up out of the water. And guess what? Now I was just floating in the air. Now at some point, I ended up floating back down to the ground. But I just know one thing after that. since that particular day, I have never been the same. Because that day when I landed on the ground, I was still aware that I was in my dream. Keep this in mind. I'm not woken up in real life. Man, I'm not woken up in real life. That's where a higher consciousness takes place. When you're awake, but you're not awake in your physical body. Because you're going to have the awareness of being awake, like I'm talking to you right now, but you're not going to be awake. So everything that was in the dream world before, it's going to be there, but it's going to be there in a different way. It's going to be there in a different way. It's sort of crazy, man. It's almost like a mixture of the natural world and your dream. From this standpoint, you're aware that you're awake in your sleep. But it's going to be something about the dream world that's going to seem more material. You know, it's almost like you're almost awake, but you're not. You're not. So I remember the first time I did that, the first time I did what I just told you guys, I remember I had like a series of dreams after I woke up. I had a series of dreams, but nothing could chase me or harm me at this point. I was in control of my dreams. I wasn't in control yet, but I was awake in my dreams. So it's crazy. When I sort of had a few dreams that night, and I just remembered that I had control to a certain degree over certain things. Just like a lot of times your dreams happen to you. They happen to you. But I remember after I woke up in my dreams, I had more of an active role of what was happening. I'll give you an example. I was in the dream world and something tried to happen to me. Like, let's just say a scene tried to change and I didn't want it to. I'm like, no, I don't want that to go. I don't want that to, it was almost like telepathy. Like I thought, like, I don't want that to happen. And it didn't happen. And I just remember after I woke up from that particular night of lucid dreaming, I remember one main thing is whatever was chasing me stopped. Because I told it, I mean, that's one thing I forgot. Oh my God, that's one thing I forgot. When I did wake up from my lucid dream, I did say whatever was behind me wasn't real. I said, you ain't real. That's what happened. And whatever that was, basically was not there anymore. So I remember when I woke up, I'm like, man, I was able to get rid of my nightmare. And I was sort of able to control where I was in my dream as far as the scenery. Well, keep this in mind. After I did that the first time, I might have did that mantra of saying I want to wake up in my dream once or twice more. But I didn't have to do that anymore. And I'm gonna get back to you guys in a second. Hold on. Tree Goblin says, good morning, everybody. Oh, yeah, Tree Goblin in the house. I see Tony said, God speaks to men through their dreams. That's true. He really does. In more ways than people can really imagine. But I say this, after that night, I was really, man, just blown away because that whole experience of waking up in your dreams it's amazing. I just say that. It's amazing. So after that night, I was lucid dreaming several times a week. Not even because I had to, because I was having nightmares. It was because I wanted to. Because I remember in that movie Dreamscape, this guy was able to form weapons and make stuff appear and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, I want to do that in my dreams. So I spent a lot of time lucid dreaming. on purpose. And I would go over there, man. I learned how to fly on purpose. Man, I had flown before in my dreams, but it was never my choice. I had learned how to, like you say, like a superhero. That's what made lucid dreaming so amazing. You can literally be a superhero. I learned how to fly. And what was the best thing about lucid dreaming is every now and then I would have a dream that looked like it wanted to start turning bad. And I could immediately change the scene. I had learned how to immediately be like, nope, I don't want that to happen. And my dream would literally propel me to a whole nother scene. I didn't know what that scene was going to be, but it wasn't going to be what they tried to, what it was, it would erase that potential nightmare before it ever happened. And I say this, right after I learned how to lucid dream, it was a couple of times, several times as a matter of fact, that a nightmare tried to happen. But it never could touch me after that because I knew that I was dreaming. I knew that I was dreaming. I knew it wasn't real. And then once you know that it's not real, it cannot bother you. I had learned how to eventually, because it takes a while to do this, or it took me a while to do it. I eventually learned how to form weapons in my dream and things of that nature. Things of that nature. Man, so lucid dreaming is so amazing from this standpoint. If you can learn how to do it. I used to tell my brother, I was like, man, the best part about lucid dreaming is something I never thought about. Once you can control your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind, not really your subconscious, but your unconscious mind, it's so much easier to control your conscious mind. Just think about it. We're used to being in control of our physical world to a certain degree. It's still things that can happen in the physical world that you can't account for. But I'm saying, like, in your personal life, being careful and safe, for the most part, you can account for your physical world. You can be safe and try to live a safe life if no freak accidents happen. You can be accountable. But humans are always scared of the dream world because things just happen to you over there and you don't have control normally. So it's like two lives. One life where you have more control, but when you go to sleep, a human always feels like, okay, I don't have any control. Imagine feeling that same control while you're asleep. That's the power of lucid dreaming. Being in control of your unconscious, knowing that negative nightmares and things of that nature cannot harm you anymore. It's so powerful. So here's the problem with lucid dreaming. Everybody is not going to be able to do it. And I didn't know that. I sort of told this story where I was going to write a book about how to lucid dream after I learned how to do it, because I didn't know it was a term for it. I really didn't. I was just like, man, I'm going to write a book on how to wake up in your dreams. I said, but the first thing I need to do is go to the library. I went to the library to do research on that topic. And that's actually when I ran across the term lucid dreaming. And I saw that there was plenty of books out about it. I'm like, man, what? It's already books out about it. So I never did it. I never wrote my book. And I also mentioned that. I said, man, sometimes we talk ourselves out of things, because just because other people had wrote a book about lucid dreaming doesn't mean that didn't mean that I couldn't write a book, but I didn't. So to make a long story short, I did start reading some of these books. And I'll be damned. They were basically saying the same things that I was as far as how to lucid dream. They basically were saying, before you go to sleep at night, you got to tell yourself to wake up before that you're going to wake up in your dream. Once again, you don't need to be drinking, or you don't need to be under the influence of anything. You need your spirit to be clear so you can get the signal clear. But there are a few requirements. Like you have to be able to dream, in color. Like they say, if you don't dream in color, there's a very good chance that you can't lucid dream. If you don't remember your dreams, there's a very good chance you won't be able to lucid dream. But if you can remember your dreams, if you see your dreams in color and things if you're a very vivid dreamer, then you have a chance to lucid dream. And man, I just know one thing. If you could ever master it, it's a hell of a gift. It's a hell of a gift to be able to do because, like I say, man, I've felt free for the longest from any nightmares or anything like that. Now, here's the funniest part. I haven't lucid dreamed in a long time. I haven't lucid dreamed in a long time because it's crazy. Once I stopped my nightmares and things of that nature, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't always had my signals clear when it's time to go to sleep, So, like I told you, you can't have your signals clouded in any way when it's time to go to bed. But it's crazy. My nightmare problem never came back because it's a trip. I still got control over my dreams to a certain degree, but it's a difference between having that little bit of control and being in full lucid dream mode. It's pretty much two different things. But like you say, if you can see in color, if you can remember your dreams, I'm telling you, if you're having a dreaming problem, you can take this route. Now, I always say, call on the Lord and just pray over your situation. He may rectify it just like that. But this is just another way that you can investigate on fixing this problem yourself. Tony said, I had a dream that my dogs came to life and all my ex-girlfriends were trying to destroy them. That's a rough dream right there, my friend. That's a rough one right there. But at the same time, even a dream like that won't be able to bother you if you master lucid dreaming. But I tell you this, man. Remember what I said about your dreams putting you closer to the spirit world? Well, I meant exactly every word of that. Because if you ever lucid dream, like I say, the experience that you take away from it is going to always be with you. Now, I will say this. I suggest you have a strong spiritual base, know what you believe, and all of that type of stuff before you start trying to master this particular technique. Because you're going to be mastering waking up basically in the spiritual world in a way. That's pretty much what you're going to be doing. And I'm telling you, it's a few dangers. I mean, it's a couple of dangers. I'm gonna explain them to you. I'm just gonna make sure what I got wrote down. Okay. All right. I've always been a deep dreamer. Well before I did the lucid dreaming thing. My mom used to tell stories of me sleepwalking and talking in my sleep, all type of stuff. I've always been an active dreamer. But here's the deal. After I got rid of my nightmares and I learned how to lucid dream, and once again, it was really that simple for me. I just basically, before I went to sleep every night, I wasn't drinking, wasn't smoking or anything. I would tell myself 50 times right before I went to sleep. Once I got really sleepy, I would tell myself that, hey, I'm going to wake up in my dream tonight. I'm going to tell myself I'm dreaming. It was one of those two I would tell myself. I said, I'm going to tell myself I'm dreaming in my dream. I think that's what I told myself. like 50 times. And I actually accomplished it. I actually chased away my nightmares. I actually woke up in my dream. Like you say, everything in your dream is going to feel and look a little different once you're in control. But after you learn how to do that, you're always going to feel a little different as far as you're going to feel stronger. Like I say, because you can control the awake version of yourself and the unconscious version of yourself. But here's the only danger, which if you got a strong spiritual base, there is no real danger. And that is, I talked about this a little bit last live stream. Whatever dreams that you used to have, what up, Blue CCG, JDKH, Tom Tiger says demons can invade your dreams too. That's why I said you need a strong spiritual base to fight off anything. Demons cannot. It's the spiritual realm. Everything is in the spiritual realm. But like I say, when you're dreaming, I don't like to think or dwell on the negative, though, Tony. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you don't dwell on the negative, you ain't really got nothing to worry about it. But it is a danger. It is a it is something that you got to think about. So, with all that said, every dream that you have after you learn how to lucid dream is going to be stronger than it used to be. It's going to be more real than it used to be. It's going to be more vivid than it used to be. So remember that. You know, everything is going to be more vivid than it used to be if you ever learn how to lucid dream. And that's a good thing in most cases. In most cases. But here's the danger. I remember after I had learned how to lucid dream, and I talked about this last live stream, but I just sort of cut it off a little bit. I kept having these dreams where I couldn't wake up. I never had them that strong before I learned how to lucid dream. That was the only thing that was really crazy about lucid dreaming. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you an example. I talked about it last live stream, where after I would go to sleep, and then I would be, I would wake up. I would wake up and go to the bathroom. And right when I got to the bathroom, I would look around and realize something wasn't right. Something would make me realize that, hey, I didn't wake up. I'm still asleep. And as soon as I would realize that, I would be back in the bed. Well, if that happens once, that's no big deal. But when that happens like 10 or 11 times in a row, that's when it's a big deal. Because I'm like, man, it's like you're stuck in the spirit world. You're stuck on the other side. Now, after about, in most cases, 5 or 6 times, I'd wake up. But it's been 1 or 2 times where it was like 10 or 11 times. And I remember I was wondering, am I stuck over, am I going to get stuck over here? And it was just a thought that hit my head of, man, if I get stuck over here, that means I'm going to die in the natural world. So that is something that I used to think about, like, man, I'm getting stuck where I couldn't wake up. Because your dreams get so, it's like it wants to stick you over there sometimes. So that is a danger right there. Now, I want to go back to something Tony said. He said something about demons can invade your dreams. I've never had anything like that happen to me. But I will say this. It's like nightmares that you have when you're sleeping. All those scary things, they aren't good. They aren't emanating from a good source. Somebody wants you to have a nightmare. And it's funny how every nightmare that I've ever had, I've always been able to escape it, like I said earlier in the stream, by calling out for God. It's amazing how all those things have disappeared as soon as I call out for God. Lets you know that he got real power. So that's what I said. That's why I think it's important to have a spiritual strength before you even try to lucid dream, because you don't want to be trying to, go to a half in, half out state to control your dreams or anything like that, and you don't have a strong base in God at all. I ain't saying you got to be number one in your church or anything. I'm just saying, hey, you need to know him. So therefore, if any trouble was to come across, you can always call on him and feel confident that you're safe. It's always been my out to call on him. But with this lucid dreaming thing, I'm letting you know, man, it really can help you. It can end every nightmare you've ever had. Because like I say, I haven't had a nightmare in so many years, I can't even remember. And it all started when I learned how to lucid dream. Tony said, did I have dreams as a kid where you left your body and were floating around your room? And honestly, I had 1,000,001 dreams of out-of-body type experiences when I was a little kid, crazy type dreams. And like I say, I believe you have to be a dreamer to even do the lucid dreaming thing. But I say this, the reason I brought Tony's comment up is for this. That is another aspect of lucid dreaming, is the dreams that you have after you learn how to lucid dream. They will be more prone, you'll be more prone to have a few out-of-body experiences. So that's what I'm saying. It's a couple of things that may change about you if you lucid dream, but for the good. I'm going to tell you why. I told you guys about a dream on my last stream. It was an out-of-body experience, and it happened after I learned how to lucid dream. And I told you, I got a big time dream. I'm gonna share with you guys. I don't know when I'm gonna share it with you guys, but it's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. But I'm not gonna share that anytime soon. But with this particular dream, I had never really died in my dream, that I could really remember. Mister says, thank you for the early morning coffee conversation. Hey, that's exactly why I'm here, Mister. That's because I'm having my coffee too. And I'm like, you know what? This is a perfect time for somebody to catch me before they get their day started. But yeah, after I learned how to lucid dream, right? I had this dream one night. And it's crazy. I had come close to like getting killed or something like that in my dream, but whenever it always happened, I never would die. Something would always happen to keep it from happening. But this particular dream, it was crazy. My dream actually let me get killed or something like that. I forgot whether I died or I got killed. I don't know which one happened, but one of the two happened, and it actually let me die. I said, dang, it really blew my mind because that had never happened before. Well, when I died, thank God, of course, I didn't feel any pain or anything like that. I just felt my spirit leaving my body. Man, well, when my spirit left my body, I remember one other time, and in that deeper dream I'm gonna tell you about, my spirit sort of left my body, but it hit a window. It didn't let it go any further. Well, this time my spirit left my body and it left the earth's atmosphere. It left the earth's atmosphere. My body started venturing out into space. I'm like, what? It's going. It was blowing my mind, right? And when it's venturing out, you're feeling the pulling at your chest. That's what you're feeling the pulling at. It's like pulling you. And I told the story last live stream, but I ended up coming towards a planet. It was a beautiful planet. It honestly, I'm gonna be quite honest. It reminded me of Mars, but it looked like Earth. I promise you. It had that beautiful like red hue, but it looked just like Earth. It looked just like Earth, but it was way further from Earth. It was in a whole nother galaxy from what it seemed like to me. A whole nother galaxy, because we don't have a planet like that in this galaxy. Man, but I started coming down to this planet. It was just amazing. And it's crazy, sort of how you hear the stories in the Bible where you can see a figure, but you really can't see his face. But that's sort of how it was. I saw this big, what I call an angelic figure. And the angelic figure told, and here's the deal. This ain't me coming up with this stuff or anything. This is just what happened in my dream. I was raised Christian. That's the way I found God. But this angel told me, I had heard something similar to this story I'm finna tell you before, though. The angel told me this. He said this. He said, man, this is your next planet. He said, you're going to remember everything from your previous life. Now, you're going to have this life on this planet to build on everything you learned from your previous life. Like, what? He said, now you're going to keep going from planet to planet. Once you die on this planet. He said, you're going to go to planet, and he said it's going to be 7 planets in total. He said, by the time you get done with the 7th planet, you're going to be ready to enter heaven. Now, keep in mind, I left this dream after he told me this and all this stuff. I eventually woke up, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't tell anybody that to sway their beliefs in anything. Like I told you, I'm raised Christian. I don't know what you might have been raised or how you found God, or if you're still searching for God, or if you're on the fence, or if you're if you don't believe right now. I don't know what your status is. So I've always told God, I'm not trying to lead anybody wrong, only the right way. But I'm just sharing the experience I had with you. After that dream, I think I told a couple of people about that, and people was telling me something about, I think it's the Hindu religion or something, where they was like, it's 7 levels of heaven or something like that. They told me something about that afterwards. I didn't know anything about that beforehand. But all I can say is this. It was an out-of-body experience. And when you have these out-of-body experiences, it's on you to pray and try to figure out what they mean for yourself. But for me, it just let me know that God and the heaven and the spirit world, they are much more than you can imagine they are. And like I said in my last streams about billions of galaxies, which I was bringing some of this stuff up, was God didn't make these planets for anything. These planets ain't just floating around for nothing. It's human arrogance that says, oh, we're the only planet out of billions of galaxies that could possibly have life. What? Human arrogance. You don't know what God using these planets for, how he's using them. He could literally be using them for our journey to get to him, or what the angel told me, he could have meant something else by what he told me. But I know one thing, these planets ain't out here for nothing. So without getting sidetracked, because this show ain't about billions of galaxies and planets and things about that. It's basically about, hey, lucid dreaming, I found is another way that can stop you from having all those nightmares on the other side. You know, it's a very good technique. But the thing is, I do believe it's a technique that's best used when you got some sort of spiritual awareness as it relates to God and your true protection. Because I've always said this: you're more vulnerable when you're asleep because that's your raw spirit. And I'm going to get to the comments, but I want to mention something I said in the last stream. In the last stream, I said this. And even in this stream, no, I haven't said it in this stream yet, but in the last stream, I said this. The term life is but a dream, to me, is more real than it ever was. Because if all of us die and we're all spiritual beings, you know, let's just say we do go through the scenario that I said. Let's just say you do go through 7 other planets. Let's just say you do that. Or let's say you don't. No matter which one it is, eventually you're going to be in just a pure spiritual form, right? And they say you're going to be, or we assume that we're going to be in a spiritual form for eternity. Well, if you're going to be in a spiritual form for eternity, that's your real life. That's your real life, because you're going to be in that state longer than this state. So just think what I'm saying. What's your real life? What's your real life? A life that you may live 80 to 100 years, or a life you live for forever after that? Or let's just say you go to the 7 planets that I was talking about. Let's go 80, or we don't know what the lifespans on those planets might be. Let's just say 1,000,000 years. Let's say you live 1,000,000 years in a natural body. But then you live for eternity with a spiritual body. Well, given that circumstance, your real life is in a spiritual form. And the life that you lived in the physical form is really but a dream, because it didn't last but a few seconds. And so, with all that said, your spiritual form is closer to who you really are than your physical, fleshly form. And that goes back to things I said earlier in this stream. If that's true, if your true form is your spiritual form, the form that you're going to have for the longest in your lifespan, then that's the most vulnerable part of you. When something gets close to your spirit, you know, if I can cut your skin, that's one thing. But if I can cut your spirit, that's a whole nother thing, because that's your real self. And that's why I say, when you're in them dreams, that's why you're so scared, because you don't have your skin and flesh to feel like protection. It's just your naked spirit in your dream, running away from whatever the hell you might be running away from. So I just say, if you do learn how to lucid dream, you got to be careful with knowing how to guard your spirit, because when you're over there, that's what's going to be exposed. That's what's going to be exposed, your true spirit. And if it's strong, if you got a strong spirit, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Overflow Tab says, when I was insecure and bitter, I had more nightmares. But when I found peace with myself and others, my dreams became calm as well. You hit on the nail, Overflow Tab. Now, you didn't add God or the spirit in there, which I'm not telling you you had to, but I'm saying that is another form of getting that spiritual calm. But he says when he was insecure and bitter, he let that go. That's true though, man. That's poison in your body. You don't realize it at the time, but being insecure and bitter is poison. Always focusing on the negative things in life. Somebody tell you, hey man, it's sunny outside. Yeah, but hey, over here, it's too hot. Hey man, dang. See the good in life. So you said when you found a peace with yourself and others, your dreams became more calm. And here's the deal. You're exactly right. A lot of times, man, our dreams are rooted in what's going on in our daily life. And I think I was telling Traffic that the other too, even before Lucid Dream. I said, guess what? It could be something going on in your family life you need to handle, your personal life. You know, a lot of times it's as simple as that. But sometimes them nightmares come from somewhere more deep rooted. You know, sometimes it is, Tony said, sometimes it's just the enemy just trying to mess with you. He thinks he can get to you through your dreams because, like I say, it's a vehicle to the spirit world to a certain degree. But he can't get you and he can't defeat you. Ain't nothing he can do against you. Like you say, hey, if nothing else, you can do with my old trick and call on God. You won't always wake up safe. You ain't gonna never have to worry about it. But I just found another method. And I just say lucid dreaming is something I wish everybody could master, because let me tell you something. It's nothing like being able to have a control over your unconscious. You know, I can't even explain how it really feels. You'd have to understand. But when you wake up while you're asleep, you're going to know that your body on the outside is asleep. You're going to know it. And it's going to be a strange feeling in your mind of, damn, bro, my outside body is asleep right now. I'm telling you, it's going to make your body have a crazy sensation of awareness. It's almost like in your dream, you can almost see the back of your eyes in your dream. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let me read something about it. I read something about, it was a good fact about Lucid Dream. I want to read, and I'm going to come to the comments right quick. What did they say? I want to read this right quick. It was a question on Lucid Dream. Says, why do my dreams feel so real? This answer says, sometimes the dreams we have seen, no, it says sometimes the dreams we have seem so real. Most of the emotions, sensations, and images we feel and visualize are those that we can say we have seen or experienced in real life. This is because the same parts of the brain that are active when we are awake are also active when we are in certain stages of our sleep. And that's what I've been telling you. They are active in certain stages of our sleep. But if you know how to lucid dream, you can awake them in all stages of your sleep. And that's the true power of lucid dream. Hold on. Oh, this is what I wanted to read. And this is what I say. Everybody is not going to be able to do it. But it says, generally, lucid dreaming is quite rare. Only 1/2 of the general population know the phenomenon from personal experience. But hey, that's cool though. A half of the general population. It says approximately 20% of people have lucid dreams on a monthly. No, approximately 20% of those people who have experiences have lucid dreams on a monthly basis, and only a minority of approximately 1% have lucid dreams several times a week. So it's a rare thing. But the method I'm teaching you is how to make yourself lucid dream. Here it goes right here. What triggers lucid dreams? It says the most common reasons for inducing a lucid dream include wish fulfillment. You know, you may, you may have something that you want to experience in real life that you can't experience, but you can experience it in your dream. If you learn how to lucid dream, you can overcome your fears. Like I say, you might be having nightmares or something. That's a way that you can use lucid dreaming. And they also say healing. And honestly, I'm damn near going to investigate that as far as like, man, I've always spoke healing into my life, speaking healing into my life, saying, hey, God, thank you, God, that you healing me, you keeping me whole and all that type of stuff. But also, that'd be cool actually to lucid dream and go over in my lucid dreams and think about healing. And they also say right here, studies have shown a link between inducing lucid dreams and overcoming the fear and distress associated with nightmares. Just like I said, it's very, very possible. I'm not talking because I'm guessing. You're talking to a person who has done lucid dreaming a lot. And it's funny. For years and years and years, I've always told my family, my brother, and from what I remember, he was actually able to do it a couple of times. I'm not sure if my mom was able to pull it off, but he told me he was able to do it. And like I told him, I've never felt more in control of my life as I did after I learned how to lucid dream. It really, man, it gave me a whole new sense of security. Now, where I am in my life today, spiritually, I still went to a whole nother level over the last year and a half or so, because God did even a newer thing in my spirit. But I'm just saying, from that point of lucid dreaming, I've never had a nightmare since then that I can remember. Not a one, not a one, since I learned how to lucid dream. And I felt like it was important to share that with you guys today. Let me read something right quick. Tiger says, I'm a blood-bought child of the living God. I'm glad, it's good to hear that, brother. Blue CCG says, very insightful conversation this morning, Jay Health. Oh, yeah, Blue CCG. Man, like I say, look, on Saturdays, this the day I like to just talk about different things. And after that conversation last weekend, I'm like, I had already penned this one in the book. I'm like, yep. Unless something crazy happened, I'm talking about lucid dreaming today. Blue CCG, you asked a good question. Give me 2 seconds and I'm going to answer that. Okay. Blue CCG asked me, Blue CCG asked me, how do you find God? I feel like I'm in the searching phase right now. Okay. So here's the deal. For me, God is gigantic and super duper complicated and super, super simple at the same time. Let me explain it to you. He's bigger than most people can even imagine. I'm talking about even pastors and religious leaders. He's even bigger than what they think he is. But to keep things simple, I say this. If you ask me personally, I'm going to always say how I found God. I found him through Christianity. That's how I found him, through that vehicle. But here's what I want to tell you. Here's what I want to tell you. you can't let everybody lead you as far as the pastors and things of that nature out here. Because some people, like you say, they speak about God to me in the wrong way. They speak of him from a fearful standpoint. You better stop sinning or you going to hell. That ain't God. No, no, no. That is not no God. He don't talk to you like that. That ain't how to bring people to God. That ain't how to do it. So I say this. Jesus said a key term. Seek and ye shall find. You are already, by you simply saying, how do you find God? I'm in the searching phase. Guess what? Once you seek, you shall find. The mere fact that you want to find him, you're already found. You're already found. Because here's the key, Blue CCG. It doesn't matter whether you're ready to find him or not. He's already in you. He's a part of you. He's a part of you. You are his child. So, really, the only thing you have to do is look on the inside. He's already there. The best parts of you, the kindest parts of you, all of that is God. Now, I'm going to tell you how to get close to him. Whenever this stream is over, look, forget the denomination or anything like that right now. Just call out to him. Say, hey, God, come into my life. You know, come into my life. Show me the way to get closer to you. You know, lead me the right way. You know, I tell you what, hey, it's not about just sitting down trying to read the whole Bible at once or anything like that. It's about just reach out to him with your spirit first. You know, I could suggest a good guy, just to listen to him every now and then. I love to listen to him, and that's Joel Osteen. He has a great message, and he doesn't come with that judgmental type message. He just comes with a message of love, and that's the type of message I like to come with, a message of love, because that's what God is. And like I said, you've already taken a bigger step by saying, I'm searching. He hears you when you say that. So from this point on, he's going to continue to open up ways for you to get closer and closer to him. And, don't fall for this trap where people feel, they want to make you feel like you got to be the most sanctified person in the world the next day. No, you don't. We're all flawed. We're all going to be making mistakes. You can, even when you get, on the right path, you're still going to be making mistakes. It's not about being perfect. It's really about every day just trying to be better, trying to be better, trying to treat people right, trying to give God his credit, And what I mean by credit is just waking up saying, God, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for allowing me to breathe. Thank you for giving me breath. I've had some people, man, your channel done grown. You doing good. I haven't done a thing. But yeah, you are. You the one doing the work. You the one doing the live streams. Why do I got the breath? I only got the breath because God gave it to me. I only got the life because God gave it to me. I only got the brain to even think of this stuff because God gave it to me. I only got the dollars because God made the provisions for me. I only got this home that I'm sitting in because God made it available to me. I only got the car that I got out there because God made a way for me to get it some years ago. Yeah, but it's broke down now. It'll be riding again, or God will give me a new one. I'm just saying, like, when you start getting in faith, you're going to start thinking like that, Blue CCG. But it only came to me because I'm going to be honest with you. I was raised in the church, and I've been lost along the way. I've always said I believe in God, but I've been lost, man. I done been out of faith. I done been all out of favor. I've never been out of favor. We're always in God's favor, but I've been out of whack. I've been doing the wrong things at certain parts of my life, and I've made mistakes just like we all have, But it's all about, at the end of the day, wanting to be good, wanting to treat people right, wanting to, find God. Because like I say, You'll know when you really find him, you know. And honestly, you're already on that path. Let me see. Tony says, what should it profit a man to gain the whole world and yet lose his soul? That's true. Tony says the vast majority of our dreams we don't even remember. That's what they say. You know, the scientists say we don't remember most of our dreams and things of that nature. You know, some of the stuff I buy into, Tony, I ain't gonna lie, but some of the stuff I don't. You know, because they just frustrate me sometimes. I know that they hook you up to a dream machine and can tell when your brain is in an active state of dreaming. I ain't saying that they completely wrong about it. I'm just saying for me, sometimes they just trip me out how they try to tell you what's happening with your brain waves or with things going on, the signals that your body is getting. Some of it's right. I'm not saying that they're wrong, but some of it, they don't know. That's what I say. Like, they try to take pictures of the solar system and tell me what's happening a kajillion miles away. And I'm not saying that they're all the way wrong, but they ain't all the way right either. You don't know what's happening out there, man. Oh, yeah. See, these two black holes converging and they gonna do such and such. Man, have you been in that black hole? Well, no. Man, you don't know what the hell that black hole doing or where it leads to or what it really is. You know, we think we know what all this stuff is. But I'm just saying, Tony, that's all I just trip off of when they say they can tell, you know, when we're dreaming and what we can remember. You know, I will say this. I mean, like I say, some of it's they're I think they got a few facts right, because I know, man, sometimes I can wake up and I can go to sleep and, man, it'll be like I'm dreaming for 2 days and I wake up and it's 40 minutes later. And you be like, damn, you know, time is so distorted, you know, in that spiritual realm. It's so distorted. That's something else I forgot to say. Like, it was one dream my fault. That's a story for another day. Sorry. DeWitt says, I get them in bunches and none for 6 weeks or weeks to months. But DeWitt, let me ask you this, DeWitt. Do you do a lot of drinking or you know, inebriation at nighttime? Because if you get drinking and being inebriated, it can affect how many dreams you get. Tony says the Holy Spirit guides our souls. I agree. DeWitt says Violence by PKD. I don't know what that is. Tony says no greater love than a man to lay down his life for a friend. Amen, brother. Mister says, I rarely hear of the interaction between lucid dreaming and wet dreams. Is it a psychological reason? Spiritual? Does it just not happen? Just an open question. Should be the VR people want. They're two different things. They're way two different things. Wet dreams is really a trigger of your physical body. It does interact with your dreams though, but it's really more of a case of you ain't had no booty in so long that your penis is saying, hey bro, since you ain't gonna get none, we finna release some. And what happens is you end up having an erotic dream, you know, that builds you up to that point, because your body, you know, yeah, God made us and all that, but here's the deal: He actually made us with that ability in our bodies to have sex. So sometimes your body wants to release that, you know, it wants to release it. So you end up having that dream to go along with the physical action. Well, with lucid dreaming, it's not really a connection, because lucid dreaming is more of a lucid dreaming is when you're pretty much actively making that happen. You know, You're an active participant in lucid dreaming. Now, maybe you can lucid dream in some way where you can make a woman, you can dream yourself in a scenario with a woman around and you can, try to make love to her. But I'm telling you, even under that circumstance, it's not going to be as powerful as your wet dream, because your wet dream is going to be a straight trigger coming from your body saying, hey, it's too much semen in us. We have to release this crap. Since this joker won't talk to a human woman or he won't release it by masturbation, we're going to have to release it. So that's where the wet dream comes in. But a lucid dream is literally you going in, controlling your dreams. So even if you do imagine a woman, it may not be as powerful because your body may not feel that strong need to expel something. But just taking the wet dreams away from the lucid part, but lucid is a spiritual experience. It's a spiritual and a psychological experience because, like I say, spiritually, it's good to be in a good place whenever you're interacting with the spirit realm that close. Because just think about it. When you're lucid dreaming, your spirit is literally awake with your body, physical body being asleep. Normally, your body is asleep and your spirit is sort of asleep because you're not consciously in control at that moment. I'm awake right now. So I'm consciously speaking. I'm consciously, aware of my inner spirit as I speak. Well, normally when we sleep, we give that control up. We just say, hey, I'm going to lay down and let my body and spirit do whatever it wants to do. If my spirit wanders into a nightmare, it does. If it wanders into a paradise, it does. If it wanders into a wet dream, it does. That's sort of letting it happen. But when you decide, hey, I want to learn how to lucid dream, and you start, once again, I'm going to give you the quick lesson for everybody that didn't hear it earlier. The easy way to lucid dream is, for one, be a colorful dreamer. You got to be able to see color when you dream, be able to remember your dreams and things of that nature. But literally, the way I learned how to lucid dream, and don't be inebriated before you go to sleep. You got to have a clear mind and body, and it's probably just best not to be drinking or smoking or anything while you're learning how to do this. But right before you sleep, say it about 50 or 60 times, or even 100 times if you want to, that I'm going to wake up in my dream. Right before you go to sleep every night. And it hit me within the second week is when I woke up in my dream. That's when I finally did it. And when you wake up in your dream, like I say, imagine running away from a nightmare. You run away from that nightmare and you're scared because it's closer to your spiritual body. And your spiritual body, if somebody can get to your spiritual body, that's worse than cutting your arm, because your spirit is underneath all of that. Your spirit is your true self. So you don't want to get over there lucid dreaming and, not be aware of any of the goodness of God, because that's your true protection over there. Even though you might lucid dream and all that stuff, your true protection is going to have a base in him. Just knowing that nothing can really touch you with him on your side. Just knowing that, being aware of that one thing right there is going to protect you from anything that could potentially try to harm you. But I said this, once you lucid dream, you wake up in your dream, you'll learn how to control things in your dream. I was able to start manifesting things in my dream, weapons or whatever. After I got good at lucid dreaming and I was able to do it for a while. It's really good to do all of that. But you also want to have that extra spiritual protection because, like I told you, after you learn how to lucid dream, it's going to be times where you're going to have out-of-body experiences after that. You're going to have dreams that are going to be hard to qualify as dreams. They're going to be so real and so out-of-body experience. And then, and honestly, this is the crazy part. The out-of-body experience dreams, lucid dreaming ain't controlling those. Oh, that's the one thing I did forget to say. That's a whole different type of dream. Lucid dreaming ain't controlling the outer body experience. That's when you're beyond that. You're even beyond lucid dreaming. Now you're just in a spiritual state of dream to where, guess what? It's really not a dream. It's something literally happening in a space of time somewhere in a space-time continuum. It's really happening when you have an out-of-body experience. It's something that just can't be quantified. And I just say, once you learn how to lucid dream, you're so closer to the spiritual side that those things are just more prone to happen. And for me, I got scared a couple of times because I couldn't hardly wake up. But what I liked about having out-of-body experiences is it gives you information about the universe, about the future, about a lot of things. Now, I'm not telling you you're going to be a psychic and you're going to be able to tell the next step that's going to happen. It's just going to give you an idea about man, where you might need to head in your life and where this world is headed. I just say that. It won't be anything definite. You'll just know. You'll just get these type of signals. I just say that. But all in all, I will say I approve of lucid dreaming. It's a very good tool to end these damn nightmares, to keep you in a good, safe place mentally while you're awake as well as sleep. And, I'm always going to say, hey, guess what, guys? I would rather you, have a connection with God than not. That's just me loving you right there. That ain't me forcing you to do nothing and telling you what you got to do. But I just think when you got him, Tony sort of alluded to it several times during this string, is you just feel safer. He saves you. He just makes you feel like, you can call on him and you'll be rescued. Because I tell you, even before I learned how to lucid dream, my only fail-safe to nightmares was to call on God. And every time I would wake up out of that dream, safe and sound. But what I got tired of doing was waking up out that dream. I'm like, I'm tired of having to wake up and run. I don't want to run no more. That's what really happened. Tired of waking up out of my sleep, running from this crap. And I just found that lucid dreaming helped eradicate all of that from my psyche. Now, here's the deal. I've been on such a new tip this year of realization with God and where he's brought me. And honestly, I'm not sure if I would need lucid dreaming today because I just been so strong with the Lord. And I truly believe, man, you can just call on him and he'll eradicate anything that you're dealing with. But I'm going to tell you this, whether I know how to call on God or not, I'm glad I learned how to lucid dream. It's something that you will have to experience for yourself to truly understand how amazing it is. Man, how you can move things in your dream, how you can be in a scene that you don't want to be in, and you can be like, you know what, I don't want to be here anymore. And it immediately shifts to something different, like you Dr. Strange or some damn body. And I'm bringing it up because the movie just came out. But literally, it makes me think of that movie Inception, how I forgot his name, my guy, great actor. But in the movie Inception, he was making all these buildings and things like that move. And that's the power of lucid dreaming, being able to literally make things happen in your dreams. It's so powerful, it's so amazing, and it's so therapeutic. Tony said God has a very, very big plan for your life because of your childlike faith. Thank you, Tony. Prayer is our protection. And I say one thing, he did say one big thing. That's one thing I used to always pray for, is to keep a mind of a child. Remember how I was when I was a child. I always had a joy of a child. That's the biggest problem with adults of today. They forget the joy of children. They forget the joy of when they were younger, and they've just become an adult. They don't remember when they were kids. And when you can't remember when you were a kid, you don't remember that joy anymore. Man, You're robbing yourself. You're robbing yourself of the true joy of life. You know, if you wrapped up into being a grown adult and that's all you want to be now, man, you're missing out on all the innocence that used to lie within you. Carol, hey, Carol says, hey, Jan Eisner. Hey, Carol, we love you. Appreciate you, Carol, for all your support and love. Oh, I want to thank the couple of people, namely Carol and DAS, DAS. They did give on my super thanks. It's something new where you can actually donate on each individual video. It's sort of just like you can donate during a live stream with a super chat, a super sticker, where you can do a super thanks now on each individual video. Carol did it and DAS did it. Thank you guys for support. Thank y'all guys for keeping my dream alive. Just since I'm talking about it, you can always go donate on my YouTube channel under the About, under Cash App or PayPal. That goes directly to me. But Dodge was asking me, he was like, man, which one do you prefer? I said, I'm going to be honest with you. Any love any of you guys show me, I love and I appreciate. I say the only thing I like about the super thanks for you guys is it's just a sticker that stays up pretty much forever. Just showing your support, showing that you supported me. So I do like that stays up as a symbol. But you can go back and forth, or you can choose whichever one you want to do. But I'm just letting you know, me and the girls appreciate whatever you do. I ain't worried about that, Tony. Tony says Satan was stopping nothing trying to derail God's plan for you. Never worried about it. Because you already know, Tony, Satan can't come against nothing God ordains. That's the whole funny part. Like, when you do get on God's side of, and then that's all you got to realize is, yeah, he's going to come at us. And that's why I say, some people actually mistakenly start believing in God and be like, hey, and I don't want to talk about it too much because it's going to be my Reset Sunday got something to do with it. But sometimes we think that all the bad things in our life are going to happen because we do believe. No, that's not the case. That's not the case. I talk more about that tomorrow, though. But no, just because you're a believer doesn't mean that you don't go through anything. It just means you got strength to deal with the things that come against you. That's really what it is. And just believing that he got better things for us in the future as well. But I'm not worried about the agents of the enemy. The agents of the enemy, I figured them out, man. Hey, when you keep God on your lips, man, and just trying to do the right thing, treating people the right way, he can't win. He cannot win. And it's very frustrating for him that he can't win. Like, here's the deal. Like I said, Tony, my car is down right now. So probably for the next 2 weeks, me and the girls can't go on an adventure. We're sort of stuck. What the enemy would want me to do right now is be cussing. What the enemy would want me to do right now is not to be doing this live stream because I'm so upset about my car. That's what he would like me to do. That's how he would win. But you see what I'm doing? I'm doing my live stream. I'm happy. God made a new day. I'm choosing to be happy. I'm choosing to be with y'all guys. I'm choosing to spread the love. I'm choosing not to pay attention to any negativity that comes my way in whatever form it comes my way. I'm not going to listen to it. If something happens to me, well, guess what? Either my car's going to get fixed, or guess what? He's going to bless me with a new one. That's the attitude. So that's how you keep beating the enemy. Never giving in to the negativity, and playing into the negativity. So many things have come my way that I could easily play into the negativity, get into arguments and all this other razzmatazz bull crap that's taking me outside of my plan. I refuse to do it. I'm not doing that. So, like I say, no matter who brings negativity towards me, I will not answer to it. So, with all that said, I hope you guys have learned a lot about lucid dreaming today and how we can help you. Like I say, it's a very, very simple tool. I always suggest, for one, make sure you have your spirit right. You don't need to be learning how to control your spirit in a deeper way if you haven't controlled it in a more shallow way. If you haven't reached out to try to put that positivity in your spirit, you may not want to venture on trying to control your spirit yet. But I just want to go back over a few things. Once again, lucid dreaming is the art of waking up while you're asleep, waking up in your dream. Once you learn how to lucid dream, in my opinion, you'll always be more connected with the spiritual world in a certain way. You know, your senses are just going to be heightened, meaning that you may be more prone to have out of body experience type dreams. And that's not your normal dream. That's literally an outer body experience. Also, another thing that's a danger is if you have lucid dreams, you can actually get stuck in your dream to a certain degree. I've had several times where after learning how to lucid dream, I tried to wake up. I would think I was woke up only to find out that I wasn't woke up. And it would take me 10 or 11 times sometimes to actually be fully awake. And it's just because your spirit is just so heightened, you know, it's so much more aware. That's all it is. So sometimes when you get into these deep dreams, it gets stuck a little bit over there. That's all it is. Nothing to be aware of, not like you're getting attacked by the enemy or anything like that. But the way to lucid dream is, once again, don't be drinking, don't be smoking or anything like that, inebriated, under the influence. Every night, give yourself at least 2 weeks to try this. I tried to do it for 2 weeks where every night, a long time ago, I would say 50 times right before I went to sleep, I'm going to wake up in my dream. I'm going to wake up in my dream. And one day I woke up in my dream. I woke up in my dream. And it was about the third day into the second week. So it's very possible. But you do need to be a vivid dreamer. You need to be able to see in color. And you need to be able to remember your dreams. Those are things that they say are requirements for being able to lucid dream. And I ain't gonna lie, I subscribe to those too, because I've always been able to see in color. I've always been able to remember my dreams to a certain degree. So those are two things that have always happened to me. And even Tony asked me earlier, he was like, man, have you ever had any out-of-body experience? Man, I had little, what I call out-of-body experiences as a child. And I had sleepwalking and talking in my sleep, all type of stuff that my mom used to say. So I believe if you're one of those people, you should be able to learn how to lucid dream. Blue CCG says, great stream today, Jay here. Thank you, Blue CCG. Mr. says, Austin looks lovely today. Was so focused on what Jay said, I did not pay attention. Thank you, man. I'm glad. Like I say, I've been having her in her beautiful little dress for a few days now. I'm going to see if I can get her changed, but I really love this dress because let me show you guys. It's a long dress, and I really love that long dress on her. I want to find another one that may be like blue or something like that. I really love it. It covers her up well. I got a couple of dresses back there, and I really like her in that. And I combed her hair all nice up today, so I'm glad you guys like her. But I will get ready to let you guys go for your Saturday. I want to say blessings over everybody that's watching right now. God bless you all. God bless your abundance. God bless positivity in your life. My guy, Blue CCG, thank you that God is finding you. You said you're seeking him. Guess what? You're already found. Just keep that attitude in your mind, and all the right signs will come to you. I just want to say once again, if you're watching this today, you're extremely blessed and you got abundance coming towards you. Stay happy, be safe out there, show somebody some love, and give somebody some kind words. I love you all. Thank you for all of your past support, people who, giving. Hey, can't give every time, can't give every day, can't give every minute. But the times that you have ever given to me, I want to tell you, I love you, appreciate you, and God bless you. But as of right now, we finna get the hell out of here. Photon says, thank you for the talk. Thank you for being here, Photon. Appreciate you, man. Mr. He says, Austin looks lovely today. Was so focused on what Jay said, I didn't pay attention. All right, y'all. We finna cut the hell out of here. Love you guys. For me, Jada King Hefner. and the beautiful Asana Moon. We signing out.